Mets fans, come to Citi Field tomorrow and get this Mets AAPI hat.
I think that one of the things that's been interesting to watch him this season is you can tell there's been times on the mound that he hasn't felt absolutely comfortable. He'll do some motioning with his hand. He'll look like he's off on his mechanics a little bit. He'll walk a couple of guys, and then he'll figure it out. And he'll figure it out in different ways. Last time out, his forkball, he reduced, in the last two outings, he reduced that ghost fork down to 21% when it was closer to 30% the previous starts. And he started picking up a little bit of more use of the slider, the sweeper, and then the fastball, when he's locating it, sets up the rest of the pitches. So it's always a mixed bag for Cody, but last one was a mixed bag with good results.
Yeah, as you said, he settled down. He retired 11 of the last 12 batters he faced in that game, and tonight he goes after his 5th win of the season. So we're closing in on scheduled game time. Out at Citi Field, Mets looking to lock up another series victory. Todd and I are going to come back here, and we'll wrap up Citi pregame live in just a moment.
At Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tuesday Night Baseball is presented by Spectrum. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Discover which Cadillac is right for you. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. By Dunkin', America runs on Dunkin'. By HSS, world's #1 in orthopedics and the official hospital of the New York Mets. And by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling with you tonight as the Mets play the middle game of their 3-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Mets right now have a lot of versatility on their roster with Carlos Mendoza pulling the strings, and nobody epitomizes that versatility more than Jeff McNeil. And we saw, amidst a lot of other things that went on last night, some of that versatility.
You know, Gary, his value to the team is really subtle. In yesterday's game, Mendoza could start him in center field. Why? Because Peterson was pitching more of a ground ball pitcher. He starts in center field. He gets a big double against Paul Skeens, one of the 6 hits he gave up to drive a run. But later in the game, when they had Taylor in to pinch hit for Brett Beatty, they could only do that because they could move McNeil from center to second base, move Acuna to third base, and that ended up playing a big part in the game. His versatility, when he's not here, it's more evident how important it is.
Yeah, McNeil started a double play that ended the top of the ninth, kept the game tied, and gave the Mets a chance to win it in the bottom of the ninth. Kodai Senga takes the mound for the Mets tonight. He's been nothing short of brilliant in his return to action this season.
Well, he's had an historical start after coming back from an injury-plagued season. That 1.16 ERA through 7 starts puts him in line with 3 Cy Young Award winners in Mets history: Viola, Santana, and DeGrom. They got off the quicker starts than Senga. Maybe this is his year.
Mitch Keller is the veteran presence in the Pirates rotation. He's been a little iffy so far.
He has, but a couple of years ago, he won 13 games. He was an all-star. They signed him to a big contract. He's got great movement on his pitches. Can't always get it on the corners, but he's got great stuff.
And if you see by the graphic there, the Mets have never had much luck against Mitch Keller. It's the Mets and Pirates as the Mets try and keep the good times rolling. All the action coming your way tonight on SNY. Senga has those fingers spread as wide as any pitcher in the game for that forkball. And he blows a fastball by Reynolds for strike 3. So Senga off to a fast start. 1-2-3 with a couple of Ks. Pitching to Wyoming's own Brandon Nimmo. And he lines one in left center for a base hit, and the Mets will score first. It goes all the way back to the wall. Soto is in. Nimmo has a double for the second straight night. 1-0 New York. Senga's thrown 11 straight strikes after the Pirates had runners at first and third and nobody out. And he gets big with a forkball to end the inning. 3 straight strikeouts for Senga.
Seems different than it did in 1985.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Canario goes down swinging. Good forkball there by Senga. Runner goes from first, swing and a miss. Throw to second from his knees by Alvarez, not in time. After the Pirates had runners at first and third and nobody out. And he gets big with a forkball to end the inning.
アルビーがいい状況で、サイン適切なサイン出してくれたと思いますし、それに応えれた部分が多かった日じゃないかなと思います。
I think Alvy
gave the right signs at the right time, and I was able to respond with those pitches for the most part. 何を伝えました？また一人だから振り絞り的なこと言ってたと思う。よく言ったじゃん。うん、多分。まあでもそういうニュアンスだと思ったし、まあ、自分の中ではもう次のバッターをもうあと一人チャンスをもらっただろうし、その中で自分でどう抑えるかを必死に考えてた。I think he said something along the lines of, "You got one more hitter, so give it all you got." And I was pretty sure that was the case too. So I know I left it all out there.
What part of that was Kodai laughing at?
He said that I think that's what Mendy said, and I said I was there though.
Okay.
Carlos, what's been the biggest difference for you watching Beatty during this recent string of success?
Confidence. Guy that knows he belongs in the big leagues. And just having fun. You know, he's preparing, he's going out there, keeping it simple, getting good pitches to hit, and just not overthinking it. And he's using the whole field. We saw it getting a single to the pull side, and then that homer, you know, driving that ball with ease. I thought it was a line drive, maybe over the left fielder's head, and they just kept on going. Pretty impressive, like big league power right there.
Ever seen a ball go through a glove like that with Vientos and not break?
You know, from the dugout, it happened so fast. I didn't know what happened. And then after the fact, somebody told me, no, it went through the web. I was like, man, yeah, tough break there. I seen it before. But yeah, it happened there.
Tony.
With Beatty, you said confidence. Why do you think it was so hard for him to come by, not just early this year, but throughout his early career? And why do you think he's been able to flip that switch so quickly now?
Yeah, I feel like every young player, when they first come up to the big leagues, they're always looking to impress or trying to do a little too much, you know, trying to have success or results out of the gate. And sometimes it takes a lot longer for guys, you know. This guy performed at the minor league level, and then, you know, for some reason, it took some time for him to get comfortable here. Finally, got an opportunity before we sent him down. Had some success. He's some good big league pitching. I thought the fact that he was able to take Wheeler that day for a homer, I think that's got to give you a lot of confidence. One of the best pitchers in the league, and you know now, okay, I can do this. But yeah, I think every player is different, and for Beatty, I'm just glad that he's finally settling in and getting comfortable at this level.
Will on the left.
Hey, Carlos, you said that he knows he belongs in the big leagues. Did you get that sense when you were talking to him at the time of the demotion, and then also when he was recalled after Winker's injury?
That's what I told him. You know, we're sending you down is because of the roster right now. You know, the playing time is going to be very limited. So you're going to go down. We're not sending you down because you didn't perform here. That was basically my message. And right away, I told him, like, you're a big league player. Right now, you know, it's just not going to be playing time. I mean, what's best for you and the team is for you to continue to go out there and get playing time. And he took it that way, you know, and then just got back up and getting an opportunity now, and same guy.
What do you think has led to his improvement with getting out of those 0-2, 1-2 holes that he was getting in earlier this year? I
feel like he's just keeping it simple. Not overthinking what the pitcher's trying to do, or just making sure I'm getting ready to hit. And if I'm getting a fastball, I'm gonna stay short. I'm gonna use the whole field. And if I'm getting a breaking ball, I'm still gonna be able to keep my hands back, stay in position where I can do damage. You know, instead of like being on the fastball, being on breaking balls, and then you get caught in between. I feel like now it's just a simple approach, and he's aggressive, and he's not missing pitches.
Tim,
what are you seeing from him that tells you this is real and not just a flash?
Well, I mean, he's hitting velo, he's hitting fastballs, he's pulling balls, he's going up with ease, he's staying back on breaking balls. Even his stakes are different. You know, he looks like he's ready to hit and then shutting it down. For me, that's a good sign of a good hitter.
Manny?
I think it was last week, perhaps, he had that 2-home run game. He mentioned some work that he does pregame. Have you noticed a different routine or his work ethic maybe change, improve in any way or anything like that?
Yeah, I think talking to some of the hitting coaches, just more of a challenge practice in the cages, using a high velo machine, like random BP, not knowing what's coming, whether it's a fastball or breaking ball. And he's basically, when he gets out there, it's like he had few at-bats already. And this is nothing new for us around the league. Everybody has these high-tech machines, and everybody's using it. Some of those guys take a little bit more time to get comfortable and implementing in their routine. And I'm glad that Beatty's, open for these new ideas and challenge himself, and he's seeing results.
It must have been beneficial last year being sent down and being able to work on second base now because he's able to play different positions, right? Like, does it make it easier for you to put him into the lineup every day?
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way, I don't know, beneficial going in the minor leagues, but yes, in that regard, he was able to show that, hey, I can be versatile. I can not only play second base, but I can play here. He's got a little experience in the outfield, and he's willing to do what it takes. He wants to be in the big leagues, and for him to continue to show that, hey man, I can play here at this level at second base too, we feel comfortable with that.
Left. What makes Senga so successful with runners on?
Yeah, today was very impressive. That fork ball today was pretty unbelievable. I thought the fastball had life. He was up to 97, 98, and when he's got that and he's throwing it for strike, then he makes that fork ball a tough pitch to lay off. He was in trouble, running at third, one out, second and third, one out, first and third, nobody out, and he was able to get out of it. Continue to execute pitches, and he was really, really good.
Jerry on the right.
Is giving Kodai a chance to complete the sixth inning there a reflection of his health and your confidence and comfort with him after a rough last year?
Yeah, on that sixth inning, I went out there. I wanted to make sure he was feeling good. I wanted him to finish that inning, and I went out there and said, first of all, I wanted to make sure he was physically fine. He was already at 100 pitches, and that was going to be his last batter, and that was pretty much the message in there. Give me everything you got here. You want to win it. And he got the ground ball, and he just couldn't complete the play there. But yeah, that was all to it there.
Andrew?
I think that was the most that Kodai has thrown that ghost fork at any point in his career. What about that pitch allows him to even lead with that pitch over his fastball?
Yeah, I think the situation, the lineups, the swings, every situation is different. Every lineup, we saw it today in the way he got out of the gate, establishing his fastball because he had life. And then once they started swinging, he kept using it. There'll be times where teams seems like they're taking it right out of the hand, and he has to rely on some of the other pitches. But today he was getting a lot of swing and misses with it, and he kept throwing it.
Manny again.
Just back to Kodai and that mound visit. Did you learn something from that mound visit from him? It's something you haven't had the opportunity to do much because of last year.
I wish I knew Japanese. No, just I think it's the first one that I have the opportunity to go out there and just to watch his body language, his face, and he wanted it right away. Before I asked him, he told me in very good English, I'm good, So that for me is a sign of a guy that wants to continue to compete, feeling really good physically. When you're looking at a guy that for the first time he's 100 pitches and I'm good to go, I want to see that.
And all right.
Carlos, your thoughts on the top four hitters being only 1 for 16?
What was that again?
On the with the Pittsburgh being 1 for 16, their first four hitters. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Kodai. That he made some really tough pitches for them. When especially running at third base with less than 2 outs, whether the infield was in, where we're playing back, he went for the strikeout. He got ahead, and then they started chasing. It's not easy. So you got to give credit to Kodai there.